Forgiveness is one of the most powerful yet challenging acts of emotional and spiritual liberation. It frees us from resentment, anger, and pain, allowing us to move forward with clarity and peace. However, forgiveness is often misunderstood. It is not about excusing harmful behavior, but about releasing its hold on our hearts. As the Dalai Lama wisely said, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. When we refuse to forgive, we harm ourselves far more than the person who wronged us. Learning to forgive quickly is essential for emotional well-being, healthy relationships, and personal growth. But let us look into this. 1. Why forgiveness is important. 2. How to forgive fast and effectively. 3. Practical steps to cultivate forgiveness in daily life. Why forgiveness is important. Well, forgiveness is not just a moral virtue. It is a necessity for mental and emotional health. Here's why it matters. Firstly, forgiveness liberates you from emotional pain. Holding on to grudges keeps us trapped in the past. Resentment is like drinking poison and hoping it will kill your enemies. When we forgive, we reclaim our emotional freedom. Research shows that forgiveness reduces stress, anxiety, and depression while improving overall well-being. Secondly, it strengthens relationships. No relationship is free from conflict, but forgiveness allows bonds to heal. As Lewis B. Smedes wrote, to forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. By letting go of resentment, we create space for trust and understanding to flourish. Thirdly, forgiveness improves physical health. Studies link unforgiveness to high blood pressure, weakened immunity, and chronic pain. When we forgive, our bodies relax, reducing the harmful effects of long-term stress. Another important point is that it promotes inner peace. Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh said, when you forgive, you free yourself from the burden of hatred. You no longer allow the past to control your present. Forgiveness allows us to live in the present rather than being haunted by past hurts. Lastly, forgiveness is an act of self-respect. Forgiving does not mean condoning harmful behavior. It means refusing to let someone else's actions define your emotional state. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, to forgive. Forgive everybody. But how to forgive fast and effectively after you have been hurt badly? Forgiveness is a skill that can be developed with practice. Here are steps to forgive quickly and fully. 1. Acknowledge the pain. Before you can forgive, you must recognize the hurt. Denying pain only prolongs suffering. Carl Jung once said, what you resist persists. Take time to reflect on how the wrongdoing affected you without suppressing your emotions. 2. Choose forgiveness for yourself. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about your peace. Forgiveness says you are given another chance to make a new beginning. Ask yourself, do I want to stay angry, or do I want to be free? 3. Shift your perspective. Try to see the situation from the other person's viewpoint. Were they acting out of pain, ignorance, or fear? Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You're the one who gets burned. Understanding their humanity makes forgiveness easier. 4. Release the need for retribution. Justice is not always ours to deliver. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Letting go of revenge allows healing to begin. 5. Practice empathy and compassion. Compassion softens the heart. The wound is the place where the light enters you. By cultivating empathy, we see that everyone carries unseen burdens. 6. Reframe the experience as a lesson. Every hurt can teach us something about boundaries, resilience, or self-worth. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could have been any different. Ask, what did this experience teach me? 7. Let go of the story. Replaying the hurt in your mind keeps it alive. The past has no power over the present moment. When you notice yourself dwelling on the pain, gently redirect your thoughts. 8. Use forgiveness affirmations. Positive statements can rewire your mindset. Repeat phrases like, I choose peace over resentment. I release this pain and embrace freedom. You have the power to heal your life, and you need to know that. 9. Seek support if needed. Sometimes, forgiveness requires outside help, whether through therapy, spiritual guidance, or trusted friends. Vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. Sharing your struggle can lighten the burden. 10. Decide to move forward. Forgiveness is a decision, not a feeling. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Commit to releasing the past and embracing new possibilities. Practical ways to cultivate forgiveness daily. Forgiveness is a habit. Here are ways to integrate it into your life. Start small. Practice forgiving minor offenses, a rude stranger, a late friend, to build your forgiveness muscle. Journal your feelings. Writing helps process emotions. List what hurt you, then write a forgiveness letter, even if unsent. Meditate on compassion. Loving kindness meditation fosters forgiveness. Repeat. May you be free from suffering. May you find peace. Set boundaries. Forgiveness doesn't mean allowing repeated harm. Establish limits to protect your well-being. Celebrate your progress. Acknowledge each act of forgiveness as a victory. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is strength. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. By forgiving quickly, we reclaim our power, heal our hearts, and open ourselves to a life of peace and joy. Remember, forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door of resentment and the handcuffs of hate. It is a power that breaks the chains of bitterness and the shackles of selfishness. May you choose freedom. May you choose forgiveness.